Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching another episode of 86 here together. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We got Fuzzy Mud responding to Will You Remember Me? The symbolism of the fireworks shoots and their death really hits you. Theta, what's your response as the emotional of us two?
Am I? That's a
Maybe.
weird position to be in, considering. Well, I don't know. You say that every time you laugh, that's an emotional response, and you're constantly laughing.
Right. I mean, like they were also like, didn't they have like a 21 gun salute or something at some point during that whole shot too?
No? Why? What?
I must
Yeah.
be just thinking of a straight up different show
Hey,
then. I must
Griff.
be thinking of Gundam because it's still in my brain right now.
Griff, tell me you don't remember the episode without telling me you don't remember the episode.
Here's the easy thing: just assume I don't.
Well, I mean, who would have given them a 21 gun salute, Griff? Just think about that for
It
a
could have just
moment.
been happening on the side.
No, it's when Lena sent them fireworks, and in the course of the fireworks, you're about to interrupt me when I'm trying to tell you what happened in the episode. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna go ahead and say, to go ahead and form into a statement then. Yeah, no, the symbolism obviously works together. That is the metaphorical send-off up for them in the show with the assumption that they're going to die. What are you saying?
Well,
What's
no,
your observation?
you're telling me that you now remember the episode so that I don't have to. I was going to tell you what happened in the episode, but you already formed a
But
thought
do you
around
want to
it.
say anything about it?
No, I mean, I think what you said is pretty much.
All right, then. Next comment. Olev23 from the episode Will You Remember Me as well? In actual World War II, with the state and individual German manufacturing firms made out like bandits liquidating and enslaving the Jewish people of Eastern Europe, it was an active detriment to the logistics to do this while the war was going on. Trains were tied up in the act of killing people that could have been used to supply the armies on the Eastern Front and accelerated the defeat of the German army. Fascism's rejection of materialist analysis tends to lead to decisions like that. And it kind of still does to this day.
I don't know. I don't think you can group all fascist regimes under one umbrella like that.
They all do very much reject the idea that the material conditions of reality are the things that we should be making decisions around, and instead base them around things like, I don't like that entire group of people and I think I'm better than them.
Well, that's just the basis.
Those things.
That's just the basis of power, though. That you formed your power base over one opinion, and that you have to fulfill the obligation of that opinion in order to maintain your power base versus having to deal with the reality. It's not that they're, what was the word here? They're not rejecting the materialist reality. They're having to accept the political reality that if they don't do what their claim is based upon, then they're just as good as losing the war anyway. If we don't kill
in which case, then they're in a position where there's no chance that they can ever win, which again, fascist, right?
Well, no, that's not the definition of fascism. That's just the framework of how the power structure works. If we don't kill off X, then my power base is going to reject me for lying or whatever. And what's the point of winning the war if I'm in the same boat as X group of people?
Well, the point is that it's a death cult and you want to kill them. You want everyone else to die until there's no one left to be on top of. Because then that means that you're on the top of the group.
I don't know, Griff. I think that's a dehumanizing view of fascists.
Fascism is dehumanizing.
No, fascists dehumanize. But that doesn't mean that you need to dehumanize fascists in order to understand them. Griff, fascists are horrible people, but you know what? They're still people, and that means you can still understand them. You don't have to dehumanize a fascist in order to speak about fascists.
I understand what fascists normally want is a death cult that ends up resulting in them narrowing down who the in-group is at every stage. Like, here would be a predictive analysis. if the 86ers all actually do end up being killed off, at some point, the Alba will find another point in which to separate out another group of people from the in-group and put them into the same position as the 86ers, because that's the only way that that kind of philosophy can function.
We've already discussed that.
Yeah,
Remember,
I know. So
there's
not
half
to spend
there's
forever on.
half Alba in the 86ers.
Yeah, so they're going to go after those next. They're going to narrow down the in-group more and more and more. If Gosh, actually, that reminds me of like the stupid American racism philosophy of any drop of anything else means you're no longer white kind of deal, right?
I mean, you don't have to make that American. Germans did that too.
True. It's
God,
most obvious
I
because we're talking about.
I wish I could remember the name of the movie, but it's one of those. Who did Sports Night? Who is the director of Sports Night? He did a bunch of White House dramas as well.
I'm not sure, but I do remember like a bunch of different White House dramas going on at the same
So it's
time.
the idea of the isolated room of just a specific group of people talking, and it's all about their internal dramas. There's a movie almost exactly like that sort of thing, but it's with Nazis isolated in like just isolated in a building and discussing how to win the war, but it always keeps coming back to, okay, but what are we going to do about our trucks that are roaming Poland picking up the Jews? You know, they keep coming back to the Holocaust hasn't happened yet. It's not even, it's like they're talking about the start of picking up the Jews and killing them and what that means for the war effort. And it's exactly what this comment is all about, and I cannot remember the name of it.
If you do, go ahead and respond to the comment with the name, then I think that'd be a good suggestion. And our last... Oh, no, we got two more comments here. Next one up is from Rogue Knight, responding to It's Too Late.
From the Patreon.
Another great reaction. I'm glad you weren't too upset with the addition of the powers in the show. I'm glad you mentioned that it is still in the same RPG skill tree of heightened mental power similar to telepathy. Only thing I'd like to add is that at the end of the episode 11, we saw one of the countries that make up Giad/Federacy, and they indeed spoke Japanese, but the official language in the show for San Mongolia and the Federacy is English, so they didn't have to learn a new language. It's just one of the many small flavor details that didn't make it into the anime. Yeah, I mean, like, we don't have a lot of world building to go over here, just explicitly because a lot of it is destroyed, right? Anything that we see is going to be kind of, like, from an archaeological standpoint. We're not going to really know these languages unless someone just outright tells us it, which, again, we're not reading the novel, right?
I don't know that it is a novel. I mean, obviously. Well, maybe.
Manga, sorry.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it might be a light novel, but even then. Well, I got two things. One, I'm not super happy. It's like, wait, what versus that? One, I'm not super happy about new powers. I thought the show was well grounded enough, and then we got Terminator arms, and then we got a second set of powers. So, I mean, I'm not upset about it. It's not ruining the show for me. It's just, I wish they didn't, is my point of view. I just wish they didn't.
Yeah, my counter opinion is like the show is really grounded because we're focusing on the drama of these specific kids, the emotional things they're going through. And the fact that there's a superpower or two in there doesn't really kind of shake that up too much beyond like pushing some people narratively to do things faster than it would take to like break them out and have them say it.
I mean, it does shake it up because it makes it not grounded. I mean, the only difference here between this and, say, the Gundam run is that we both knew new types were a thing before we started watching Gundam.
Right, because it's kind of about that, right?
I don't know.
This show isn't about the
it.
2 or 3 people who have superpowers, right? They just happen to also be there.
Well, that's the thing, is that they just show up, or that the thing that he does in episode 1 is later explained as some sort of mental ability and not, like, part of the technology. Like, if it was like, oh, I can hear dead people because the para ray just fucking picks it up. Or, you know, because it's just a side product of uploading human minds into a mainframe or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's technological. I guess I can handle technobabble more than I can superpowers.
Right. I think they kind of fall under the same pile, but now I'm just kind of thinking to myself, how close are we going to get to getting a human instrumentality plot?
And number 2, again, we had the scene when they hit the elementary school where they indicated that they could not read the Empire's language. What's the point
Right.
of what's the point? The books are pointless if we can't read them, says Shin, ripping pages out of the book.
Right, which means your original interpretation was probably more on point then, now that we have, like, more info.
Well, no, that's what they're saying is that
Yeah.
they
You were
they
right,
can't.
Theta.
No. What?
We had an argument the last time about this, and I was saying, no, they just can't read. They're illiterate.
Well, we don't know.
And you were arguing what you were saying right now, and I'm saying, Theta, you were right all along.
Which has nothing to do with the conversation that we're having.
It does, because we're right back here.
No, you didn't even let me finish what I was saying. You interrupted me to tell me I was right, which is so off-putting that I don't know what to do with it. I have no idea if the others are illiterate because we don't see them reading books.
Mm-hmm.
Shin, who can read, indicates that the books are unreadable. He's our point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pointing out that he says that they can't be read. And then I was about to point out that the Rogue Knight here indicates that they're either in English or in Japanese.
Yeah.
Well,
So you were right all along.
I don't even know how you get to I'm right from this step. If I
try
was
my best just to be nice to you. And
if I was in your position, I would argue that I was wrong. But you keep jumping to I'm right that I don't even know how you're getting there.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark down. Cannot handle being right, so let's go ahead and go.
Because you're not explaining it. You're just saying you're right. And then, okay, I guess we're done.
Next comment, Sage from the episode, Will You Remember Me? Running away is great and all, but how long can you evade the Legion before they find you and decide to decorate their latest mech with your head? Yeah, that's kind of the ongoing tension of that entire, like, was it 2 or 3 episodes where they are basically hiking out there?
I mean, the answer is for the rest of your life.
True. If, assuming that there was nothing else out there, at some point, the Legion isn't going in that direction, right? It seems like it's leaving most of the natural landscape just to itself.
Unknown. We covered the battle map last time, and the battle map has them coming from every direction.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, specifically around, say, Mongolia, but once you run past them and escape, where are they? What are they going to be doing? You're kind of like at the information deficit, and maybe they just pop out of nowhere.
Again, they're coming from every direction. We know every side of San Mongolia has a Legion base somewhere around it.
So I think with that, Theta, let's go ahead and get into your thoughts here about the about last time.
All right. This is weird conversations today. I'm not really going to have a lot to say about last episode, since it was mostly about the characters finding themselves in this new situation and deciding on what to do. Generally, those are the kinds of episodes where my first reactions are just my thoughts in total for the full episode.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time deep diving just general emotion and the like, because that's just real world stuff. I can feel smart trying to analyze tropes and figure out where the story might try and go, or pick out small things from the background to try and elicit the most detail from a scene. When we get to just discussing how characters are doing, it's like that scene in Star Trek where the computer asks Spock how he feels. I get locked up and confused.
There we go. This is the true answer. I'm trying to think of like how I respond to this. Like, I don't feel like I really lock up like in that same way, but if it's just characters expressing like their emotions, there's not really a lot to say sometimes, other than it's like, oh yeah, no, it makes sense they feel that way, right?
Do you not get locked up, Griff? You respond to trauma, fear, anxiety, and joy with the same emotion. There it is.
It's the one emotion I have. Let me have it.
That seems like a lockup to me. We saw Shin interacting with Eugene Rance at the library after trying to pick up the book his older brother read to him as a kid, that Eugene was reading to his little sister, forming that representational emotional connection in the moment that carried over to Frederica when she wanted to take her throughout the city as a little sister. It really informs the events leading up to the end of the episode where she asks for help. And not only do you get a big brother helping a little sister angle, but the whole headless knight thing comes into play from her as well, which aligns with Ray and the book.
Yeah, we're getting like a double parallel here, right? Between, of course, the rest of the Federacy here, which he now feels obligated to protect, and then, of course, to his own past, where he's now taking on the role of his older brother used to have. I guess that means maybe more symbolically, he really has completely moved on from that death then. Uh, which I guess has been like the kind of like the tone of the past 3 or 4 episodes, right? he's over it. He's done.
2 episodes ago, he was literally chasing the ghost of his brother, so I don't think so. Back to
Also
that
fair,
interaction in the library, we also have the hints of a wealth-based segregation. With Eugene not having enough money to even go to school, we have no idea then if his little sister can get an education or if he's at the library every day teaching her himself. Also, since we have no idea about their parents at all, we have no idea what happens to her when he decides to enlist. Either way, where the Republic segregates by race and the Federacy segregates by social class, it would seem.
Right. I suppose we're kind of on our arc of what are the holes in the Federacy and how terrible could it actually be beneath the surface. That said, like, the kids spend, what did they say, a week or a month?
I don't think
A
they
month.
said.
Yeah. They spend all that time hanging out there, and from their perspective, at least, they didn't notice anything terrible, so maybe it's still not that bad. We can hold out a little hope, right?
Karina at the shop having difficulty with the dress being on sale next week doesn't read to me that she's distracted by the military parade outside, or having PTSD by the mechs that just so happen to look like the Legion, but instead just has an inability to plan out her life past the next day that she's in. The concept of next week is so foreign to her that she just shuts down.
That could be a fair read on it. I think the show wants to put front and center the first idea, but I think the second idea definitely can be read validly, right?
We know, according to Karina, that Shin was overclocking his Juggernaut. Can't wait to see what he does with a Vanagunder that has to have so many more settings and abilities. At the same time, I could also imagine him having it stripped of just about everything to make it faster and simpler to use, creating a new Juggernaut effectively.
Yeah, there's no way Shin's not going to go ahead and mod out whatever he gets and just make it a death machine.
When Anju and... let me bring it up here too. When Anju and Theo are talking about how the Federacy wants them to consider their futures, when Theo asks Anju if she's decided on hers, in the background is a shot of 2 people walking past. One is a woman with hair the same color as Anju's, but short. The other has the same hair color that Daya had. We know that she grows her hair out to cover the scarring on her back, but Daya went out of his way to compliment her on how pretty her long hair was, even though he knew why she was growing it out too.
Hmm.
She's never tried trimming it since. I think those two are just an allusion to what might have been the future Anju would have wanted but couldn't have, the same way that in her cooking class she made 2 dishes by herself.
That's actually a really good observation there. That's a good pickup. Water. Mm.
Yes,
Uh,
I believe that we all have water.
I require water to sustain myself. Uh, but yeah, no, I think I suppose out of most of the characters, she's the one who has the most maturity to actually, like we were saying about the previous one, they're not planning very much far ahead because they're not used to it. She seems more capable of it, more mature in all of that. So she had a plan. She cannot execute on it. So she's at an interesting different position compared to everyone else. It's fun to think about.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun was what I
Fun.
like to call
That's
it.
what I call this. Yes.
Imagining other people's traumas is fun. Last episode, we threw out the insane idea that this could all be the Matrix. For the sake of new insane ideas, I got another one for you. We both loved Heavenly Delusion. What if Frederica seems so mature and claims to be the one that ordered the war because she is that older person that did? That the Legion didn't get brain. That the Legion didn't get brain uploading technology from nowhere. The Empire had it before. That the old Empress put her mind in the body of the princess, and that they are the same person now.
She's gonna go ahead and turn around and be like, "Why am I so old? It's because I have a Gios."
Doesn't mean
Sorry.
anything to me.
I know it doesn't. It will eventually, I'm sure. But
If
no,
I'd never
maybe
watch it.
someone has a brain uploading power. Maybe that's why they can do it in the first place. That seems to be the way we go here.
I mean, I just. Okay, Griff. Okay.
What? I'm just saying, we're gonna have it happen.
I literally said maybe they didn't get brain uploading technology from nowhere, indicating that they had it already. And you're leaning into superpowers for some reason.
Yeah, because the way the show goes is someone has a natural superpower, they study it, and they make it a technology.
No, the way the show goes is we get introduced to one new superpower a season.
Mm-hmm.
We've already got one this season, Griff.
More, though. What else you got?
That's it.
All right, so I think that's all for Theta's thoughts. Let's go ahead and go quickly over what happened last time in Welcome. Several weeks after Shin and friends have gone missing, Lena has been demoted from commanding Spearhead and is in charge of conventional 86 units led by Cyclops. However, she is still the military's top performing handler, and she uses her reputation as leverage to secure more resources and benefits for her troops, as well as gain a cadre of officers loyal to her.
Are you
Meanwhile,
reading the right episode?
Are we?
No, are
right,
you?
sorry. 14, right, so I'm supposed to be reading 13. It's too late, my bad, everyone. It's too late. 1 month after becoming Federacy citizens, Shin and his friends have been doing their best to adjust to civilian life within the Federacy. They do find things that the Federacy is a much better country than the Republic, as they are treated as equals and not discriminated against. However, despite making friends and enjoying the luxuries the Confederacy can provide, they cannot shake the feeling that they don't belong here, as their lingering guilt and trauma over their lost comrades leads them to believe that they should keep fighting on the battlefield until the end. On the eve of the Holy Birth, Shin and his friends finally come to the conclusion that they will return to the battlefield, much to Ernest's shock. He tries to convince them otherwise, but Federica warns him that trying to override their personal decision would make him no different from the Republic. Ernest relents, but only on the condition that they all enroll in the Special Officers Training School and become officers. Federica also requests to go with them, revealing her true identity as Augusta Federica Alder, the last Empress of Giad. She also reveals that her royal blood gives her the power to view the past and present of the people she meets, and she saw how Shin defeated and freed Shoiru from the Legion. She asks Shin to help her free her knight, Kirya, who has also been turned into a Legion shepherd. Shin agrees, and he, his friends, and Federica depart for officer training.
I mean, I've got half of that superpower. I
I know
too have the
exactly what
ability.
you're doing right now.
Yeah. I too can see the present.
I have an additional power. I'm time traveling right now into the future.
Well, technically, you're not. The person that said that's in the past. Every time you say any part of that sentence, the person who's saying it is already a second behind. Or
There you go.
milliseconds behind, or whatever.
But yeah.
Also,
so
could
last-
instantly tell that you were in the wrong episode because Lena wasn't even in last episode at all.
Yep, I got my number wrong. But yeah, so we spent a lot of time hanging out. We talked about all their trauma already in your thoughts section. And this time we're going to go ahead and see how well they actually interact with the Federacy military. We saw a couple of them, like episode 2, wasn't it? Or 1? And now we go ahead and finally get to see the character that got picked out for you actually interacting with the main cast. Are you ready for that?
Episode 12, I would say.
There we go. So, any final thoughts then before we go ahead and get going?
We spent a lot of time hanging out is probably the tagline for Stone-Faced Reactions.
Stone-Faced Reactions. We spent a lot of time hanging out. If you like hanging out too, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more reactions like this, not the best take. On top of all that, if you want more, damn it!
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. Rag on Griff a little bit. I get enough of it. Take on some of Griff. Now pay attention to see if there's anything different. Not specifically due to anything that happened beforehand, but because openings are sometimes different.
I think Theta,
are they in the Federacy, Griff?
They're in the Federacy. Yeah.
Well, at least I get a second chance to see what happens in that window. What's going on? I still can't figure it out. The glare is too much. He's holding up like a wine glass, and you see like an explosion.
I thought that was like a dying hand.
No, the dude's standing up. Very confused why you didn't mention that before. What window are you talking about, Theta? I just see 3 guys in a truck.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about it, but do you think they're actually getting their mental devices back? The Pararoids?
No, the Federacy took them to analyze.
Oh wait, no, they actually have like new ones on.
No, it looks like they have modern technology. The thing that Theo was complaining about.
Alright, what the hell does the glowing blue eye mean?
I don't know, maybe it's a new type.
He's gonna shoot laser beams. This is the Superman story now.
I mean, we also get to see that they're going to get airdropped.
I feel like half of that imagery at the end indicates that Shin's probably not making it through this. Training time.
I mean, there's also the facet of, is the opening lying to us? Like the first one did. You know, with North Africa being a place.
I feel like that's more of a less intentional detail kind of thing, you know?
We know it doesn't take place on Earth. No, it's Marcel. Unless Marcel's in the other one.
You're not allowed to do flips in those things.
Marcel 候補生、さっきのは何のつもりだ？
敵の背後に回り込もうと。
それで丘を乗り越えたと？フェルドレスの腹を敵にさらけ出して。
And there's also the fact that the enemy is not moving because of cardboard cutouts.
もう一度やり直してこい。は。次にノーゼン候補生、バナルガンドで跳躍起動するなど何を考えとる？機体を壊す気か？
He is insane.
あれしかないと判断しました。機体を2機とも失うよりは
一機の脚部を破損するだけの方がまだマシでしょう。
シン。
確かにな。衝突を回避したという点は評価しよう。
I mean, when your commander has less battle experience than you do.
敵様も0点。いいな。
At least, like, this is, like, pretty understandable. It's like, please care more about everything happening. It's not something Shin's used to, I think.
そもそもお前が避けなくたって俺は。
だから必要ないと言っている。
行くぞ友人。いいから来い。いいわね。
Just dragging away his friend like that.
そう見えましたか。
あら、素直じゃないのね。
今日は
また付き合ってほしいの。許可は取ってあるわ。
Or to test out juggernauts.
ノーゼンとは距離を置けって。
どうして？
Good question.
お前も知ってる。
Talked about it in the first episode of this Part 2 area.
開発に関わっている新型フェルドレス。あれはやばい。共和国の機体を元にした乗るやつのことなんか考えてないイカれた兵器だ。
Just the way they like
試験
it.
軌道に駆り出されたテストパイロットがもう1ダースは死んでるって。なのにあいつらだけはピンピンしてる。ただの噂だよ。それでもあいつは嫌な。
We already saw this in season 1 that he's an expert with a gun.
まるで死神だ。
Oh, the nickname sticks. Hell yeah.
Independently.
あなたたち、ちょっといいかしら。
これどこまで行くんだ？
演習？
さあ。
でも。
I guess I was kind of right. They didn't strip down their super advanced ones, they just remade juggernauts.
あなたたちが通った時はまだ。
We're getting there.
けど
No, that's what we were just talking about.
私たちはここまで取り返したのよ。戦線を仕上げた時に格座していたこの共和国のフェルドレスが見つかって名前が彫られたプレートが一緒に置いてあったの。連邦では戦死者の名前は必ず国立墓地の慰霊碑に刻まれるのだけれど、プレートにあったあなたたちの仲間の
Oh, it's the wall from the opening.
575人分はここに残されて
They
いるべきだ。
found all the names he saved and gave him a memorial for them. Oh, this is actually really nice.
きちんと元の場所に戻したから安心して。どうかしら。
気遣いありがとうございます。
でも特殊校を卒業したからこれからは正式にあなたたちはギアーデ連邦の軍人よ。そして遠からず実戦に投入されるわ。
How much time do you think that took them? They haven't stated yet, have they?
This is February 11th.
Okay, so it took them a month and a half.
December 31st was when this battle happened. They're at the site of.
改めてよろしく。
よろしくお願いしま
God,
す。
Griff, pay attention to dates.
フレデリカちゃん？
てかあれ何？
サプライズ？
We literally saw her rising Fido in the opening.
なんなんだこいつは。
スカベンジャー？共和国のよ。なんで？
ファイド。
何言ってるの、シンくん？
お前ペットの名前。
The only person in the entire crew who could be brought back to life.
Yeah.
そなたらと共にあったの。
I'm okay with the robot being rebuilt. This makes perfect sense.
コアユニットまでは破壊されていないことが判明しての。グレーテラが復元したのじゃ。機体は乗り換えておるが、正真正銘のファイドというわけじゃ。見た目は同じでも、性能は数段アップさせたわ。
そうでしょ。
あやつ自身も死んだと思っていたらしく、最初
Tiniest high five, I love this.
それが動いたのは、新鋭の名を聞かせた時じゃ。
お前が俺たちがここに行き着いた証だ。朽ち果てるまでその任を全うしろ。お前まだ生きてるのか？朽ち果てるまでと命じたろ。 また一緒に帰るか。
Oh, this is adorable.
Still super confused as to what he really is, though. Since you put
Highly
in,
intelligent, apparently.
well, yeah, but you've indicated that it's not actually a dog. Like they didn't upload their dog's brain or something.
シンくん、ファイトがどう動くかわかるから。そうなの？彼、
But this is incredibly dog-like behavior, right?
で、なんでフレデリカはここに？
決まっておろう。マスコットになったからじゃ。
マスコット？
知らぬのか？わらわのような幼き娘を戦闘部隊に加え、寝食を共にさせるのじゃ。
What?
疑似的に家族となった者どもは、愛する娘や妹を守るため、命を惜しまず戦うという。
This seems ill-advised in general.
趣味悪い。
Oh, they agree.
うむ。わらわの配属先も
Well, maybe that answers my question about Eugene's little sister.
I guess at least they are giving a reason for her to be here instead of just making it really weird.
そなたにはもう一つサプライズじゃ。エルンストから預かっての大切なものじゃろ。
It's got at least 5 more people to kill.
Yeah.
The semi-indication of the barrel pointed at everyone's face as it turns around.
Oh gosh.
よろしく。
Oh wow, just...
Several months later, yeah.
Yeah, but at least these don't die in one hit. Seemingly.
Yeah, they're actually able to take multiple hits. This is really good.
The problem is that we haven't seen one that's gotten hit come out of the smoke yet, so...
Guess who?
They said they remade the Juggernauts. Just with more advanced technology. They do look thicker.
Yeah, they have actual armor on them.
Reagan Leaf.
86共和国の化け物め
They're literally your countrymen now.
But they're absolutely crazy.
Saved your lives, they did.
少尉、また高周波ブレード使いましたね。
ああ、
辻切りみたいな真似はやめてくださいよ。
Ah, the same old talk as always.
まだ届いてないんですから。もうそれでなくて
Well, he's used to it. She's basically Lev.
問題ない。レギオンならもう撤退する。
He came back, and then new Lev chastises him for pushing the things too hard.
ご苦労じゃったな、信也。
また潜り込んでたのか。
整備クルーを抱き込んでわらわを配送など甘いのじゃ。
出撃にはついて
Oh, you forgot, I can see the present.
マスコットの職分をわきまえろ。
そなたに言われる筋合いなどないわ。指揮官ともあろう者が短期敵陣に切り込むなど万有にも程がある。悪い癖ぞ。ベルノルトもぼやいておったわ。聞いておるのか、信也。
I love the shrug.
帰り見ぬとこ。はっ、
Defeated so easily.
へいけどもう静かにしてくださいよ。みんな連日の戦闘で疲れてるんですから。
すまぬ。
おい、なんでノルトリヒト戦隊のやつがいるんだ。昨日うちが救援
Nord
かけただろ。 少尉だってのに大体指揮官とはね。
上官が全員戦死したらしい。規模も今は中隊レベルだそうだ。
誰が殺したんだか。死神付きの首なし骸骨。
Oh, they made up fake information to just make it easier for them to step in.
やめとけ、友人。ごめん、みんなと食べてて。
Carrot juice. Who puts carrot juice in a machine like that?
You got your carrot juice, your black cider, classic, of course.
Well, it was orange juice next to carrot juice. You know,
Mix your oranges together.
食べられないなら無理しなくてもいいんじゃないか。
それではクリアのものに悪いではないか。
still has the teddy bear.
なら努力するんだな。
It's so cute.
昨日は助かったよ。
あ、悪い。
They do get small servings, though.
活躍みたいだね。
It seems normal.
だから
2 biscuits, 2 slices of apple.
A whole bowl of soup.
Yeah, it's all soup.
当然じゃ。特殊校でも新鋭の同期だったそうじゃの。さぞ大変であったろう。
そうだね。こいつほんと無口で不愛想で何考えてるか全然わかんなくて。
Also, 3-pronged forks.
わかるぞ。
They're cutting costs all over the place.
から目も上げぬし相づちも打たぬ。そもそも興味のない話は聞いてすらおらぬ。
そのくせ変なところでやたらと思い切りよく無茶をする。
そうなのじゃ。
俺たち気が合うね。
She's just vibing while they talk about him.
見知り役ざ。どれ。どうじゃ。記念に1枚。
お。
新鋭。
She's gonna die, you know.
But totally gonna happen, yeah.
The show doesn't go from killing everybody.
笑わなりのじゃ。
The Dream Witch?
さて。
To letting a cute little girl somehow get through this unscathed.
失礼するのじゃ。
あの子マスコットになったんだね。
ああ。
今時流行らないっていうのに。
あんなのでもいるとなると守らざるを得ない。うちはよそ者の集まりだから人質が必要だと思われてるんだろう。
ひどい話だな。
彼女自身が選んだ道だ。
でも戦う理由なんてないだろ。家族とか国とか正義とか自分の生活とかそんなのあの年の子には関係ない。なのになんで戦わなきゃいけないんだ。
そうかもしれないな。
It's fun seeing Eugene as the perspective Confederacy character go. It's like kids shouldn't be having to do this, and then staring back at the Republic.
今はおばのところにいるから寂しそうだけど。
おば?
Oh, there we go. Answers that question.
うちは両親ともいないから。ニーナにはいい学校に通わせてやりたいし。
Can't afford it.
俺が稼がないと。
Yep.
大変だな、お兄ちゃん。
いいだろう。やらないぞ。
あいにくうるさいのは間に合ってる。
次の休暇にはどこかに連れて行ってやるんだ。動物園か遊園地か。買い物もいいかな。女の子だからさ、服とか靴とか買ってやったら喜ぶだろ。
ならなおさら従軍はやめるべきだったんじゃないか。戦況は良くない。これから先も良くなることはないと思う。
確かにね。うちの隊も昨日だけで15人死んだ。体調はやばい時はこれくらい当たり前だって言ってたけど。
当たり前か。そう考えていい死者数じゃないと。
I mean, it's still better to be able to do something than not.
死傷者数が合っていない。
勝ててる感じは全然ないよな。
Why does your bread have seeds in it?
Maybe it's raisin bread.
Those are too big to be raisins. I might as well just been date bread.
けどそれなら君の方こそどうしてまだ。
Oh, that's a question she's never gonna say out loud.
Well, I mean, it has a different answer now.
あいつら多分モテないね。
He's not in Magnolia saying, oh, I was forced into it. Are you dead already? Did you just
Oh.
die, Eugene?
The scene after. You're really gonna do it to us like that show, huh?
Literally no time to process.
フレデリカ、お前の目を閉じていろ。
I guess they can't take more than one shot. Jesus.
Yeah, that is not making it.
We said there's blood pooling all over the place.
Oh, it's really just going for the heart today. Well, same old war for Shin, huh?
I just can't believe the speed at which this happened. I mean, obviously, I was
absolute
in the
smash
mind.
cut to
Obviously,
it.
I was in the mindset because I'm like, oh, Frederica's not getting out of this. But then suddenly, Eugene.
友人、お前がやったのか。なぜ。
ちょうどよかった。戦士報告を頼む。
Yeah, it could be your job now.
なんで助けてやらなかったんだよ。お前ならできただろ。どうせクズ鉄どもをぶっ殺すのに夢中で。戦狂いの86が。
やめろ、マルセル少尉。共和国のクズどもと同じに落ちるつもりか。比例を詫びよう。それからランツ少尉への恩情ありがとう。
いえ。
その上で言わせてくれ。君がもし助けられた恩義を返すつもりで志願したのなら、そんな必要はない。我々は決して君たちのような哀れな子らに戦いを強いることはない。今からでも遅くない。退役して幸せに過ごしたまえ。
レギオンが来ます。今のうちに友軍と合流を。
Shin's not letting anyone talk him out of this.
用ないの。ノルトリヒト戦隊には新たな命令じゃ。再攻撃に備えて地点2732に集結。別名あるまで。
What if the Legion is repurposing the tech that they destroy from the Republic or the Confederacy?
大丈夫なのだな。
Good question. They haven't shown themselves like being that advanced yet, I don't think.
They upload people's brains, Griff. It's sufficiently
All right.
advanced. Also,
Let-
I have to secondary thought. I have to wonder now if the upgraded armor of the Vander whatever's
Uh-huh.
is also causing the people to die more horrifically, because the juggernauts are so paper thin. It doesn't
Mhm.
require much to rip one open and take somebody out. Versus the ammunition you have to pour into one of these more armored vehicles probably causes you to get hit harder.
You're likelier to be injured than killed instantaneously. Yeah, I think that's generally what's going to happen.
Well, I'm saying, like, how much firepower did they have to pour into his unit for him to be laying out there just completely smashed to the middle? Versus Shin's company of juggernauts, which typically just fall apart the moment they get hit.
Right.
Crumple design, like cars, car testing, made to fall apart specifically in one way, versus being a tank that just crushes everything that hits it.
It's still like hurt seeing Shin like still having to go through like the exact same thing that he's always had to go through, collecting the names, making sure the person's dead, their head can't like be used and everything.
Well, no, he handed it off to Marcel.
Yeah, he's got more people
お
now.
帰りなさい。
Completely random detail. So Shin wasn't even wearing anything, stood up and noticed that the Legion was coming. I don't think he used to be able to do that.
I don't think he did.
Like as soon as he was at the end of his conversation in the lunch hall with Eugene, he stood up before the raid announcement happened, and then a second later, the raid announcement happened. He
I
said
think
the Legion
he-
were coming, and then the siren happened.
That's just a have to rewatch sort of thing because I don't think he did.
We were really focused on the Eugene smash cut thing right after that, so if it popped out of your head, I understand.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, you know me, I'm not going to believe a thing that you just tell me because I think you can be wrong. We're all human here on this show, aren't we, Griff? Human Griff.
Yes, I am definitely human. Everyone, please believe it.
How's your human hair collection coming?
It's going great. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I don't think he did because well, I'm thinking back to the scene with between him and Marcel where he tells Marcel to gather up your allies because they're coming. I think he's just making logical deductions.
That could be fair, but I think maybe the feel I've always had in the story is that Shin has always had the preternatural power to know these things ahead of time. And I always assumed it was because of some factor with Pararaid. We then got the later information he has an inbuilt talent. He doesn't need the Pararaid for it anymore. He just can do it now.
I'm always going to lean away from the psychic powers. So I want everything to be more grounded than that. So, like you said, I didn't see it. I'm going to rewatch the episode to take my notes and editing and all that shit. So I'll have more thoughts about that next episode. But leaning away from it for right now.
I did, of course, like the point where Shin said to close your eyes because our princess or empress, whichever one we would go for, was probably watching through the Pararaid, same way that we have Lena, who was doing that back in the Republic.
Well, that's more specifically the eyes was quotation marked. But remember when Lena did it, it blinded the person whose eyes they were. So it's either that they've improved it or they've done something else. Because obviously he was not blinded when he thought somebody was looking through his eyes, if that was the case.
Right. And of course, she's also stated she has the power to see people in the present that she knows. She could probably use her powers to see it, is what I'm guessing as well. Which is also warning, like, do not look at what I'm doing for a minute.
I mean, it's more probable than the Pararaid idea. Unless they just have micro cameras in the thing.
Yeah. I suppose we'll get, like, a little explanation about it at some point, but it's a detail to keep track of, I think. Let's see. What else, though, today? Oh, gosh. We have brand new machines now.
I mean, we've also jumped, 7 months into the future?
Yeah, we're literally an entire half a year out from where we
5
started.
months. We went 5 months. We were in February 11th, and now we're in July something. I missed the date.
Gosh, what could Lena be doing in, like, 6 months, then? Everything must be terrible over in the Republic by now.
I mean, I imagine we're going to find out, given that the next episode's called Welcome Back. I feel like we're going to get some cross-battle thing. Juggernauts show up from San Magnolia on the same battlefield that we have. Sorry, now we have 3 different machine names, and I can't remember the new ones.
Yeah, we're going to have to write that one down, I think. But yeah, no, we could actually totally get a conflict with all 3 actors involved. This is going to be good. Which is, there'll be a first for the series. San Mongolia is probably not going to like it. And I bet it'll turn into a 3-way battle.
Well, it's not that they're not going to like it. They have now seen that not only does another country still exist, or that their enemy still exists with a new name, they also have proof of their crimes against humanity.
Oh yeah. Oh, they have to kill him, right? We gotta go with the genocider logic. We gotta make it count. We gotta kill everyone who knows.
Well, no, that was the reason to kill all the 86ers, because when the war ends, we can't have proof of our genocide. Now we're more in a, you've seen my face, right?
Mhm.
Crap, you've seen that we're committing genocide. We have to kill you so that you can't warn any other countries what we've done.
Yeah, there you go.
We're in the
Jeez.
bank robbery gone wrong scenario.
Well, to be fair, it's been going wrong for a while, hasn't it?
No, I mean okay, I killed a couple of hostages to shut all the other hostages up, but now I have to make sure that nobody knows who I am, so that when I get out of here, I don't get accused of murder. Oh crap, my mask fell off. I have to kill everybody now that saw my face, so they can't tell any of the other hostages about what I look like or who I am.
Everyone in this train car could compromise my identity. I'm gonna kill them all. Yeah. Oh gosh.
So now it's probably going to become a war.
Desperation.
It's going to be a war between San Magnolia, the Federacy, and the Legion now. Even though we're losing against the Legion, we have to now make it a three-way war so that the Federacy, God forbid a third country still exists, can't tell anybody else.
Oh man, if anything else popped out of nowhere, it would probably just utterly ruin the Republic. There's nothing they could do at that point.
I mean, they could try to create a communications blackout, right?
Mhm.
Don't talk to those people, they're working with the Legion, or something. Or that country doesn't exist, they're actually a Legion plant.
They
they're
already
a
have
Legion
the perfect
bioweapon.
excuse. They're all robots. Just tell everyone they're just robots, they're just drones. Don't look too closely. Nobody go out and check.
Or actually lure the Legion to them.
Mhm.
You know, send your really fast juggernauts out in front of a Legion column and just lead them towards Federacy bases.
Oh gosh. There's a lot of fun things that we could do with this entire idea. I think we just gotta go ahead and see what happens next time. But Theta, you got any last thoughts to wrap up with for today?
Human hair.
Well then, with that, let's go ahead and wrap up for the day. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?